Make sure to always lock your doors. 23-year-old guy here. I live in a pretty safe neighborhood and usually always lock my doors. Last night I apparently didn't. It was not too long after I had taken my dogs out for the last time and was turning off the TV and lights when one of my dogs started growling. Not too weird since he sometimes does that when people walk by the house. He only does it to certain people, not everyone. I then heard the front door open and someone walk in. My dog then started barking. My other dog, who loves all people, came running from the other room to greet our guest. At the same time, I was reacting to what was happening and went, "What the fuck? Who are you?" Standing in the hall was a guy in his mid to late 20s. He was skinny and tall. Oh wait, I don't think I'm in the right place. He genuinely seemed confused. I replied with, "Hell no you aren't. Please get out." He apologized and said he was coming to hang out with a friend and just accidentally went to the wrong place. I asked him what house he was looking for, and he said a number that was just a few couple number off from mine. He apologized again and left. He seemed nice and non-threatening, but I was still kind of spooked. This morning I was ready to laugh the whole thing off. I was planning on telling my neighbor, a couple in their 30s, what happened. I don't know them all too well, but we have talked before. Luckily, I caught with one of them when I was taking my dogs out. I didn't want to come off like I was mad or scared over what happened, so I casually said, "I'm sure he told you about it, but your friend paid me a surprise visit last night." My neighbor gave me this confused look and said, "What are you talking about?" "Your friend. He walked into my house last night thinking it was your place." My neighbor was quiet for a second and then said, "I don't want to alarm you, but I have no idea what you're talking about. We didn't have a friend over last night." Second story. "Watch your kids in the stores. I am young. I'm 30, so I'm kinda young. But I see this little girl at Walmart not too long ago running around in the toy aisles. She must have ran past me 4 or 5 times, and every time she did, a man would be right behind her on her tail. For some reason, I could feel something was off. I stopped the little girl and asked her if she was lost. She said yes. I said, 'This man isn't your daddy.' And with almost tears in her eyes, she looked at him and slowly looked back at me and said, 'No.' I grabbed her by the hand and told her we were going to go up to the front to have them call for her mommy as the man was in our aisle. I gripped her a little harder when we walked past him and went to the front of the store, walking right past the man, looking him straight in the eye, and he just kind of gave me this side smirk that till today makes the hair raise on my entire body. Had I not stopped that little girl and brought her to the front to find her mom, I'm genuinely scared to know what would have happened to her." Third story. I think your daughter may have been drugged. When I, female, was in the 7th grade, 12 years old, I would experience nausea, vomiting, and extreme sleepiness after spending the night at the house of this particular friend, let's call her Erin. This friend, also female, lived with her parents and her brother who was 5 years older than us. After about 5 to 6 times experiencing these symptoms, my mom apparently noticed a pattern and sat me down to ask if I was drinking alcohol at Erin's. I remember laughing at that question because I had never even tasted alcohol at that point in my life. But my mom's question was super serious. I told her no, and I thought that Erin's multitude of rodent pets made me feel ill. This sounded suspicious to my mom, so she didn't let me spend the night at Erin's house anymore, but I was still allowed to spend the night at my other friends' houses. One night I was with a group of friends and we had movie night at Erin's house, then went to spend the night at my friend Sarah's house, where I had slept over many times without any problems. The next morning, I came home sick, nausea, vomiting, extreme sleepiness, and my mom took me to the doctor to get checked out. She told the doctor that she believed me when I said that I didn't drink alcohol, but given my hangover symptoms, apparently the doctor was incredulous and ran a blood alcohol test on me, which came back at 0. Surprise, surprise. He said that they could test my blood for GHB/Rohypnol, but if I ingested the substance, it would no longer be detectable in the blood. Given the circumstances, he informed my mother that I was likely drugged at Erin's house. since that is the only commonality preceding my symptoms. There wasn't enough evidence to show who drugged me and/or press any charges, so my mom just banned me from Aaron's house. I stopped going to Aaron's house completely, and I have not experienced these symptoms since. After about 2 months of not going to Aaron's house, her older brother messaged me on FB and asked why I never came around anymore. He told me that he recorded some things on his DVR that I would like, so I should come over to watch them. I didn't know what to say, so I deleted FB. I never told my parents about that message, but in hindsight, Aaron's older brother was likely preying on me. The end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Choose here your next story. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, Reddit Curious Listener, to motivate me so I can create more content for you guys. If you really liked the video, then just hit the like button.